Recording in progress.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Fellowship of Spirit in beautiful Farmington, New Mexico. It is the 7th of June, which has kind of got us all thrown off a little bit. It's so late in the month, it's almost not the first of the month. But welcome, and we will have a special edition this morning. Bonnie Faye is going to do a meditation for us. No, you're not? Bonnie Grace, I'm sorry, it's so ingrained in my brain. Bonnie Grace will be doing our meditation for us. And Shay will be doing music, and Mark Wolf will be our speaker. So if you will bear with me for a moment, I will read our mission statement to you. Our mission is to positively affect our world by extending peace, love, spirituality, understanding, and friendship to all people with grace and gratitude. Our vision is to be a spiritual center of awakening the I Am Christ consciousness, and membership is open to everyone. And we have a prelude. You guys are not guests, but it's nice to see Bonnie Grace and Ellen here today. It's always a blessing when you guys come.
Yeah,
Anyway, Shay is going to do our music for us. We have a prelude of I Am So Blessed, and it is in your binder. And she's doing a cappella.
Yeah. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, Shay. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And now we have our opening prayer from Susan in Belize.
Good morning, and it is beautiful here as it sounds like it is there. It's just slightly warmer. So let's all just quiet our mind, take a deep breath, and let that energy flow throughout the whole body. Creator, Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for this day and for all the wonderful things that you have given to us. The wonderful thing in that we are able to see a blessing in all things and in all ways. We are blessed with good health, with friends, with family. We are blessed with an abundance of all the things that make life worthwhile living, including our fellowship and knowing that we are all one, that there is only love, and that we are expressions of that divine love and manifest in every way. We ask today that not only that you be with us, but with all of our friends, our family, with all those who are in need and have no idea that you are always there, that you're always walking beside us through every trial and tribulation. You are always there, and we give thanks for this. Today, we are truly blessed. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Susan. And we have a song in your binder, What a Wonderful World.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Shay. I love that song. That is probably one of my favorite. Okay, excuse me. Found a little frog in my throat. Where'd he come from? If you will read along in your bulletins with me, our reflective moment. Love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. And if you will welcome Bonnie Grace to the podium, we will have a few moments of meditation from her. Bonnie, come around this way. There's a cord there. I don't want you to trip over there.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay,
It's good to be here.
thank you.
Okay, I invite you to close your eyes if you like. Can you hear me all right? Get comfortable. Relax your entire body. Feeling the presence of God enveloping you. As you are imbued and embraced in grace. Feel the warm golden light radiating within you. As you bring your awareness to your breath. Each breath is sacred. Each breath is holy. Every cell and atom of your body is illumined with this liquid golden light flowing through your veins. You experience this in every level of your being. And you find yourself dancing in the ocean of divine consciousness. Now allow your attention to come back to the breath. Follow that breath. Feeling it deep within your heart. Stay within your heart space. Feel it expand and open. Allowing your heart space to be filled with the sacred breath of life. The heart space becomes wider and vast, allowing unconditional love and compassion for yourself and all beings. Embody this space. Embrace this light within and all around you. Now soften into the silence. The silence of your own soul. Be still and know that I am God. Om Shanti Shanti. Now bring your awareness back. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Namaste.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you very much. It was beautiful. I'm always so thrilled when she has the ability to get to us and help us with the meditation. It's such a blessing. Okay, we have a song now from the binder, Feeling Good.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shay. Okay, we're going to hear from Mark Wolf, and he's going to tell us what he's learned in the last half century since high school. And my memory does not work that well, so I'm really interested in what he's got to say. So let's hear from Mark Wolf. Shay, will it switch?
Good morning, everybody. All of you at beautiful Fellowship of Spirit in beautiful Farmington, New Mexico, the soul of the Four Corners, as well as everybody on Zoom and YouTube and wherever you are and whenever you are. We're just really happy to be here together. It's the month of June. I love the month of June. What's not to love about the month of June? There's so many things that happen in the month of June. You know, it's the start of summer vacation. It's the start of summer reading at the library. June brides and pride and Father's Day and the solstice and Flag Day and Juneteenth. But the first thing I think about when we talk about June is I think about graduation. You know, it's just a year ago that my daughter graduated from high school, and it was June of 1976 when I graduated from high school. And at the time, wow, we were still reeling from the Watergate affair and the resignation of Richard Nixon. Gerald Ford became the president, and Vietnam was still a very fresh memory. And then there was the Arab oil embargo. You know, nobody knew where the Strait of Hormuz was. Nobody cared because the price of gasoline had doubled. It had doubled, I tell you, doubled. June 1976, you can Google this. The national average of gasoline in June of 1976 was 64 cents a gallon. It had doubled. And of course, it was also the bicentennial, and that was exciting. And when I graduated, all of us, let me see if I can show you this. We all had these. They're very, very elegant, very nice. This little red, white, and blue ribbon with a Liberty Bell, and we all wore these to the graduation commencement. But I remember President Ford, and I remember the bicentennial. It was a very, very exciting summer, but I remember it as being very dignified, and it was elegant. It was classy, and you came away not necessarily jumping up and down and excited, but you came away with just a very quiet and firm sense of pride and of joy at being an American. Summer of 1976. But you know, it's just in the past few weeks that we started hearing about America 250. And I kept hearing about this America 250 thing and 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and all this. And I suddenly realized just not that long ago, I said, oh, like, I guess that means it's been 50 years since I was out of high school. When did that happen? What day was that? You know, seriously, and I began to think about the things that I have learned since high school, so the half century since high school, and you know, this has been a path of light, although there has been an occasional shadow, and there have also been some terrifying moments of darkness when I was clinging on to any ray of light that I could find. But something that was written repeatedly in my 12th grade yearbook, my 12th grade annual, that over and over again they wrote this: stay just like you are and you'll go far. Oh, wow, there's a piece of advice. Stay like you are, 18 years old. Now, it's very sweet. It is very nice. It's a lovely platitude, but what is it really telling us to do? Are we supposed to stay the same and don't change? Continue to be 18 years old forever? Oh my goodness, no. No, no, no. Well, listen, here's the thing. Listen, we humans can do a lot of things. We really can. We built the pyramids. And we built machines that sometimes they weigh like many tons, like tons and tons, but they fly through the air, and they're supported on the air. And like, wait, what? You can't do that. And we do it all the time. And we walked on the moon, not once but several times. And we can do so many amazing things. But one thing we cannot do is to stay the same. We're just not able to do that. It doesn't work that way. Speaking of lessons, my father used to say that you're either moving forward or you're moving backward. There's no sitting still. And I heard him say that many times. But the beauty of this is that it really has nothing to do with age, okay? Like how many years on the calendar that you have experienced, you've seen come and go. That doesn't matter, all right? Our spirit is eager to watch us to heal and grow and move past wherever we are, and whenever that is. The only constant in this world is change. Okay, we do not stay the same. I've heard that there's only constant is change. I first heard that in 1980 from an amazing spiritual teacher whose name was Ben Osborne. And Ben Osborne would go on a few years after that to co-found the Koren Kabbalah Center, which I'll tell you about in a moment. And tragically, Ben died in 1990. He was murdered in a home intrusion. But what an amazing spiritual teacher he was, and like a mentor for me in some ways. But anyway, the only constant is change. And even when the change is something we want, even if the change is something that we need, the change itself can still be scary. Okay? The things are changing. So what are we going to do? What if things don't look the same after they've changed? Well, listen, it's a pretty good bet that as circumstances and relationships change, things are going to look different. That's a pretty good bet. So why is it that change, being so ordinary and so common and going on right this very moment, why is it so scary? Why do we resist change? Well, because it's scary. Well, why is it scary? Because it's change. We get in this loop. But for the answer, we're going to look at the answer to this. This is a big thing for me over the last half century. It took a half century to learn it. But we're going to start in the book of Genesis, like we often do in chapter 3. We're not going to read it. But after Genesis chapter 3, after we chose the tree of knowledge, the path of knowledge, we could no longer stay in Eden. Okay, we couldn't stay there anymore. And so it is called the fall. The fall of man. We fell. Okay, but what does that mean? I mean, we learned that in Sunday school like decades ago. What does it mean? We could spend a lot of time talking about it because there's so much information that is embedded in that, as we said before. But the central idea here is the idea of separation. Okay? Now, more traditional teachings, okay, center on the aspect of separation from God. Okay, this original sin and all that whole thing. No, we're past that. But we need to look more closely at separation from ourselves. Okay, that's the hidden teaching here, is separation from ourselves, from the higher light that we are. And in this, I think that beautiful song that Shay sang is just fits beautifully with this. Now, with the Genesis story in chapter 3, what it's trying to tell us is that the spiritual part of us, okay, the very higher levels of our soul, the part of our higher consciousness that's always connected to God, separated from that lower part of our consciousness, that lower part of our consciousness became embodied in a human form. That's what the story is telling us. We came to Earth, and we became cut off from that higher light. Now, we're not talking about separation from God, because here's the thing: you cannot be separated from God. It's just, you can't do that. Okay, that's one of the things that humans can't do. We cannot be completely separated from God. It's just not possible. But we can be separated from ourselves. And that's where we're going this morning. This is a huge, huge life lesson for me. Our highest consciousness remained with the light of God. Our lower consciousness awakened no longer in the God light, but that never changed, but rather awakened to the sunlight on earth. Now, this is the story of the prodigal son. This is what it's all about. And the sunlight on earth, for all its constancy, is always changing, you know, and the lower consciousness does not like change. Just pure and simple, doesn't like change. The lower consciousness wants everything to be easy and stay the same no matter what. Now, some years ago, a lot of years ago, I was at the point where I needed to end a relationship. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Ending relationships is not where I shine. Okay, but the relationship was ending on its own, and I was frantically trying to duct tape it back together. And even though the relationship had become difficult and painful and wasn't working anymore, it was easier to hold on to the broken relationship than to imagine myself without it. All right? Just whatever it is, no matter how bad it is, don't change. All right? But when I learned this, that's when I learned this phrase. So when I learned this: the devil you know is preferable to the devil you don't know. All right. In other words, the misery that I was experiencing in this was more tolerable than the misery of change. Wow. What a no-win situation that mess is. And then let me tell you something else. A year after I graduated from high school, my dog became sick. I have never told you about my dog. That's because has been a kind of a private thing. But her name was Annie, okay? My dog's name was Annie. She was a dachshund, you know, big floppy ears and these beautiful brown eyes. We grew up together. And Annie endured my tumultuous teenage years along with everybody else. But when I was 19, she developed heart failure. And fluid collected in her lungs. Now, we took her to the vet, and they drained the fluid, and the fluid came back. We took her to the vet, had it drained, and it came back even worse and came back faster, until finally she was no longer able to breathe unless she was sitting up. So she couldn't lie down, couldn't do it, could barely walk. All she could do was sit and struggle for breath. And so the responsibility fell upon me to take her to the vet for the last time. And even though it was so obvious that this poor little animal was in terrible distress, I just could not stand the idea of letting her go. I cried my eyes out, okay? And, you know, dachshunds have long floppy ears, and I wiped my tears on her ears so she could take those tears with her. And I put her into a little crypt that I had built of concrete blocks. The devil I know is preferable to the devil I don't know. No matter how bad it is, it can't be as bad as changing it. So this loops us back to the separation that's described in Genesis. One part of our consciousness remained in the light of God. One part left the constant light of God to experience the changeable light that falls on the earth. Like I said, the prodigal son in the New Testament. And that part of us on earth wants things to stay the same, even when those things are not pleasant and they're not working anymore. We don't care. We just want it. Don't change. You know, stay the same. Whatever, please stay the same. And this. Listen, that separation of consciousness is the reason that our dreams, okay, our dreams in the night, that our dreams are so often just a jumbled flow of images. Okay. Because dreams, as my teacher in the Kabbalah, the Kabbalah Center taught us that every dream is a message from the light. And if you don't look at it and examine it, you've just not opened your letter. But those messages very often are not coherent because they have come through that separation of consciousness. But we identify, regardless of that, we identify more strongly with those lower levels of consciousness because that's how we live our lives on earth. We live our lives through that ego level of consciousness that doesn't want things to change. And, just so, therefore, stay as you are and you'll go far. But here's the thing they didn't tell us. It is our soul that is driving the change, all right? Now, I heard that many years ago, but it was also many, many years before I finally had the aha. This was something that my first teacher in Kabbalah talked about a lot. That was Shirley Chambers. I've told you about Shirley before. Shirley Chambers was co-founder of the Karen Kabbalah Center in Atlanta, where I studied about 35 years ago. Shirley passed away in January of 2025 at the age of 90. God bless. But Shirley taught us that our soul, that higher part of us that remains connected to the light, that is our soul driving the bus. Okay, and our ego level consciousness likes to pretend that, we're all grown up and we're driving the bus now, but it's not. We're not doing that. It's our soul. It's at a higher level of consciousness that it's bringing the challenges into our lives, and bringing the people into our lives, and driving the change and driving the bus. All right. So, in other words, listen, it's not fate. It's not God's on the mountaintop somewhere, and it's certainly not punishment. All right. It is our soul. It's just us. Nothing to be afraid of. It's just us on a different level. And our soul knows what our issues are. Our soul knows where we have hidden the pain. Our soul knows where we have stashed the anger and the frustration and the resentment. All right? Our soul knows how scared we get and how angry we get. But those issues and that hidden pain and that fear, especially the fear, all right, all that shows us where our hearts need to be healed, okay? And because our hearts need healing and our lower consciousness needs reconnection, then our soul brings the circumstances and the people and the challenges into our lives to make that happen. It's good, in other words. Now, what we need, this is something that Shirley used to talk about, what we need is often not what we want. Ouch. Because our lower ego self wants easy. No matter what, wants easy. Our ego self wants life to be easy all the time and things never change. All right? And our ego likes to have an easy life so that it can imagine it has accomplished great things when it has not. But in case you haven't noticed that things don't change and it's not always easy, that's how life works. That's just how it is. Big life lesson there. And because ego is a child who wants a cookie before dinner. And our soul is saying, no, you can't have a cookie before dinner. You have a cookie after dinner, after you eat your dinner. Sounds like a conversation I had with my daughter a few times. But our ego wants something that's soft and easy and sweet. And our soul wants the real food, the real nourishment. Now, that's okay, that's great, but what does it mean? What does it mean? What is the real food? Well, our soul wants the real food. Okay, what is that? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Okay, here's the real food. You want to know the real food? I'll tell you the real food. The real food is love that is given freely, whether it is asked for or not. Forgiveness when it seems not to be deserved. Generosity when it is not easy. Certainty in the light when there is an appearance of shadows. Transformation when it's scary. That's the real food. When we transform our consciousness, even when it's scary and we don't want to, and we do it anyway, that's food and it nourishes our soul and lifts us up. And letting go of anger. Letting go of anger when the anger appears to be justified. That's the food of our soul. All right, that's what our soul wants. These things are not easy. I understand that. That's the point. They're not easy, but it's what our soul needs. And you can be 8 years old, you can be 100 years old, it don't make any difference. Okay, this is what our soul needs. So what happens? Okay, our soul, that higher part of us that stayed in the light, brings to us the person who's going to push our buttons. All right, or stir up the issues. That person who knows just exactly what to say and exactly how far to make you crazy. Okay? Our soul brings us the person to teach us where we are still being a victim. That's a hard one. Our soul brings us the person to show us where we are continuing to act in an unkind, unloving, and selfish manner. How else would we know? So we can heal it and do something about it. I've been through these lessons. Been through these lessons for the last 50 years or so. Our soul brings these lessons to us, but listen, they're not really lessons. I don't even like that word anymore. Lessons sounds more like we're back in high school. I think that lessons implies that we're going to learn something, and we don't always learn something. We don't always get it right. And it makes 2 or 3 or 4 times, 2 or 3 before we finally get it right. But these are not lessons, they're opportunities. Okay? We get opportunities to heal and opportunities to grow. And if we don't make it this time, it's okay. Another opportunity will present itself. Our soul will make certain of it. Okay? And throughout all of it, not all of it, what's happening in the background? Our lives are changing. They're supposed to. All right? We're not supposed to stay the same. We're supposed to learn and grow and overcome. And we are wise when we move with that flow. When we're grabbing, how do you do that? It's, well, you got to go with the flow. What does that really mean? Okay, not just words. We're tired of just words. We want to know what it means. What does it mean? It means that when we're grabbing hold of the opportunities that come, we're looking for them, expecting them. And we're asking ourselves, okay, where am I still angry? Where am I still resentful? Where am I still being a victim? Where have I failed to love? And we're asking these questions, and we're making the changes, and we're growing, and we're moving forward. Listen, this is what's happening. We're actually becoming our soul and healing that separation. We are becoming our soul, and that's what it's all about. But when we hold on to the pain and we hold on to being a victim, we're just moving backwards. This is important. Stay as you are and you'll go far. It's cute when you're 18. It really is. It's just a lovely, cute platitude when you're 18 years old, but it doesn't take any time at all before we start to discover that, no, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. So, we have looked at Genesis chapter 3, where that separation of consciousness is first described. Part of our spiritual consciousness stayed with the light. It's still there. Part of our consciousness became human on earth. But it is our soul that brings us the opportunities to grow and transform and heal the separation. These opportunities bring us a promise of peace because we're not fighting the system anymore. And we start to see the world the way it really is. That's amazing. Okay, so we get it. All right, soul, higher consciousness, opportunities to heal. Healing means change. Change is scary. We've been there. We've done that. We got the t-shirt. But what's the reason? What's the reason? Beyond the anger, beyond the pain, beyond the disappointment, beyond the that's all the thing. Beyond all that, why? I mean, seriously, why? What's it all for? This has been a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, and a whole lot of tears. And what for? Because listen, here's the answer. All of it, okay? All of it is for the purpose of allowing us to become like God. right? All of it allows us to become like God. But when our ego self experiences the world out there, our ego is hurt, and our ego is angry, and our ego is really needy, and our ego reacts. What does it do? What does ego do? It hurts somebody else. I'm hurting, so I'm going to hurt somebody else. Okay? Course in Miracles says ego is insane, and here's the description. Our ego holds on to the pain and holds on to being a victim and demands control and demands validation, and it's not going to get it. Okay? Because we cannot become like God with that kind of baggage. You just can't. And so our soul starts to bring us those opportunities to heal and transform because we cannot connect to the light of the Creator that is within us while we remain a victim. You can't do it. Okay? We can build the pyramids, we can fly in the air, we can walk on the moon, but we cannot connect to the light of the Creator and remain a powerless victim. You just can't. We cannot receive the blessings that the Creator has for us when our ego is needy and craving validation. And we cannot receive the fulfillment that the Creator wants to give us when we do not share generously with gratitude for the opportunity to help, right? And so our soul brings us the people and the circumstances and the conditions, the situations that allow us to see where we've been unkind, to see where we've been selfish, and because we are here to transform. That's where the transformation needs to occur. Okay, and we are being shown the change needs to occur. Why? So we can become like God. That's the point. So, how do we do that? It's amazing stuff. The people in your life, I'm going to tell you, the ones who did a wrong thing. Okay, and there's no point saying they didn't do a wrong thing. They did. They really did. They did a wrong thing to us. The person who ripped apart our self-esteem. Okay? Who ripped apart our self-esteem. The person who disappointed. The person who was mean and controlling and manipulating and 1,000 other ways that we hurt each other. Because listen, this is not about forgiveness. Okay, we're not talking about forgiveness. This is beyond forgiveness. Because sometimes, let's just say it out loud, the ego simply cannot forgive. It just can't. So this is beyond that. All right? This is beyond forgiveness, and it is real. It is not a symbol. It is not mere words. It is real. Okay? Here, I'm going to tell you how to do it. You bring that person to your mind, and you remember what they did. Okay? And I'll tell you a secret. There's just an image in your head. It can't hurt you. Big lesson there. Pictures in your head can't hurt you. All right. So you bring that person to your mind and you say this. This is like your mantra. This is your healing. You say, "I bless the soul of so and so, and I bless the light for bringing me to this point of transformation." Because listen, all of it was for our good. All of it was to challenge us to love and to share. So here it is again. I bless the soul of so and so, and I bless the light for using them to bring me to this point of transformation. It will change your life. I'm serious. All right. Now, what happens when you do that little ceremony is that you stop thinking like a little helpless human victim. Okay? And you start thinking like a divine being. You start to become like God. Not by human strength, not by human power, but rather by the power of the divine light that is within you now. All right? That right there is our graduation. All right? That's how we graduate from the school of pain and disappointment and lack and anger. The book of Zechariah, as we start to close now, the book of Zechariah sums it up so perfectly in chapter 14. It says, "On that day, the Lord will be one, and his name will be one." That's graduation day. And it happens for each one of us. That graduation day could be today. When we speak from soul consciousness, and we bless the souls of the people who have brought difficulties and troubles and frustrations into our lives. And we bless the soul with genuine gratitude and excitement for the opportunity to transform and heal and fulfill our purpose. Then in that moment, within you, in that moment, the Lord is one, and the Lord's name is one, because that's your name, and you have taken it upon yourself. We become our soul. That's the purpose for all of this. The purpose for all of this is to bring us to graduation day. And I'll tell you something, that day could be today. Take it on yourself and get excited. Jerry,
Mark, I'm here.
back to you.
Thank you. You always know what is in my heart, and you provide me with the reminder of how to deal with it. And this weekend has been my challenge, and I want to thank you for reminding me that I can think of the people that caused me stress this weekend to be blessed, and to thank them for bringing the ability, the chance for me, the opportunity for me to change.
Yes,
So-
that's exactly it.
Thank you so much. You always know what my heart needs. Always.
Honey, I'm a professional.
I know. And that's what I love about you. And I love your desserts too. And I wish you were here today.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, I love you dearly. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say to Mark?
Well, Jerry, this weekend it was the same for me, and so everything he said was what I needed to hear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was really, yeah. I'll be thinking about it all the rest of the day, and I appreciate it because now I can see things with a different point of view. Thank you, Jerry. Really, really appreciate it.
You're more than welcome and more than beautiful. And it sounds like perhaps I did my job.
Okay, anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Thank you, Mark, for being here always. We appreciate you and we miss you in person. If you would like to, we have a song, Shay. It is in the binder and it says, "You can have a song in your heart."
You can have a melody down in your heart when it's aching, almost breaking, even though the sorrow makes the teardrops start. You can have a melody down in your heart. You can have a song in your heart in the night. After every trial, after every mile, anyone can sing when the sun is shining bright. But you need a song in your heart at night. Do not let your worries drive your song away. Though tomorrow brings its sorrow, just remember after nighttime comes the day. Do not let your worries drive your song away. You can have a song in your heart in the night. After every trial, after every mile, anyone can sing when the sun is shining bright. But you need a song in your heart at night.
Thank you, Shay. We really appreciate you and Margaret for your music on these Sundays. It really helps us to stay in the frame of mind that we need. If you will put your donations over your heart and repeat with me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Unlimited. I am prosperous. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Okay, we would like to wish Ellen Benton a safe journey as she continues on with the challenges and the opportunities of her life. She's moving to Texas and to be closer to family, and we hope that her journey is blessed. And we've been so blessed to have you with us when we can, and so you've been a part of us for a long time, and we do appreciate you. So, and we would like to, we don't have any kids today. The kids are all off doing things. Summer things.
That's what they say this time of year.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to have some closing words from Bill Clark.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day and weekend and start of the summer. It's going to be hot today, so take it easy and drink a lot. Today, true contentment. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. Mark Twain. Sometimes we take a retreat alone or with loved ones. We find ourselves taking a deep pleasure in the smallest moments. We sit by the fire reading a good book or chatting with a dear friend, and we think, this is living. How simple it is. We can take that sensibility home with us, setting the stage for a life of gentle rest and straightforward integrity. The walkaway is, I can create a life that puts meaningful things first. Anything behind that is just extra, and I won't let those extras take over. Have a great week. God bless.
Words of wisdom. Thank you, Bill. Okay, if you all join me up here, we will sing our way out of here and go have food.
Texas girl, huh?
On top of that, she's going to Midland. And there's a lot of places in Texas I wouldn't mind going, but Midland isn't one of them.
Crazy about West Texas.
Yes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together in unity, and yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our flower, family all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Bless you all. Have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you next Sunday. Thank you.